Welcome to the shop. I always look forward to your visit. Get yourself something to drink and let's get started. Here is today's project. Isn't that a unique wrench? And what's neat about it is it has a real neat history. It's a Fordson. And Fordson, from what I understand, was a company that Ford started. Ford wanted, after his cars went so well, wanted to start a company building tractors. And his board of directors, from what I understand, didn't want to do tractors. They wanted to stick to just the cars. So he took his money and started another company and wanted to call it Ford and Son, and it became Fordson. And this wrench is from that company, and I'll give you more of the history of this in the wrap-up. Right now, what I want to do is get it into this along with these other tools and get it soaking. So I want to tell you a little bit about this wrench and where it came from. The Fordson wrench. I've got my cheater sheet here, so make sure I get all of my facts straight. Ford had wanted to start, in fact, he started making some car plows and would put a plow on a car, and he had that. You can see that picture here of one of his plow cars. A group of entrepreneurs in the early 1900s decided to start making cars with the Ford name. And what they did is they started a company, the Ford Tractor Company, and they paid a company clerk for the use of the name. And so the company clerk was Ford, had Ford for his name, and so they paid him so they could use his name. But it sounded like to everybody else in the general public like it was a Ford tractor. So Ford went on the warpath and started his Fordson company, and he started charging so much less than they could afford to charge that he put them out of business. Then you have World War I, and they started sending a bunch of tractors overseas, especially to Britain, so that they were able to produce the food they needed for the war effort. In 1919, Henry Ford actually resigned from the company because of a power struggle. There were some shareholders, and he was not the primary shareholder, and so they pushed him out. So that's when he started Fordson Company, and he started to produce them so cheaply that they couldn't compete. And so he ended up through that whole competition, all within a year, I think it was, he started the company and was able to devalue the price of the Ford name with his new Ford tractors, cars, and trucks, that he was able to purchase the shareholders out of his original company, ended up with control back of his company and merged the two companies together. So it's just fascinating to see all of the chess game that went on in some of these back in the early 1900s. So in 1920, he merged them all back together. Ford was one of the companies that, since he was able to produce his tractors so inexpensively and they were such a good quality, that one of his biggest clients was the Soviet Union. And I think it said 250,000 tractors were shipped over to the Soviet Union. I guess they were so popular that a lot of their posters that they would put up for their propaganda would have the Fordson tractor there. So it's just neat history. It's fun to look at this and to learn about it and to share it with you. Let me bring you down here on the bench and let's take a look at our refurbished wrench. So here is our Fordson wrench. I want to put here a series of pictures of the different Ford tractors, the Fordson tractors, and you can see the different colors and the different makes. And I had some paint here that was close to this color right here, so I thought I would take this wrench and put it into with this color. I also found some pictures of the kits that came with the tractors, and you can see them here. These kits that would come with the tractors in their toolbox so that you could keep and maintain that tractor. Now, after taking a look at this kit, I wanted to show you this little screwdriver here that I refurbished some time back. I'll try to remember to put the link for this video, and it looks very similar. This construction here looks very similar to this screwdriver here in Ford's toolbox. And I don't see anywhere here where it has any kind of Ford markings. There's some kind of a marking right there, but I can't really tell what that is. If somebody knows, please let me know. At first, I thought this was bent real badly, and I thought it was a crowbar or even a stove lifter, and so that's what you'll see in the video. But I ended up finding out that it is actually a screwdriver, and you can see the example here in the Fordson kit. So I ended up bending this straight and fixing it up and putting it back in to the form of a screwdriver. So I just thought it was really neat to see that. But this wrench is really just a very unique style and look to it. So I think it will be great to have in our collection of tools and to have something from history. Well, we can put this now here, give it a home on the wall. Put it right here. Thanks so much for joining me on this video. A little walk through history and where some of these tools, this tool in particular, where it came from. So I hope you have a great week. God bless.